All right, it's early June 2025, and I've got 2 more people to interview in my car, so we'll try to make this quick, but here you go. Let's see if I can you turn that to you?
Sure, I'll go first. I'm a Forerunner, and I started on April 18th. I actually have my own YouTube channel, which is Dean's List 4458. And actually was going to hike the trail last year.
Nice.
Had to give back my permit because I had cancer on the base of my tongue and then lymph nodes on both sides of my neck. And so I'm hiking for SPUNK, which is support for people with oral head neck cancer. So I'm having a great time. I'm enjoying it so much because of the ordeal I went through. I'm loving people. People have been incredible. Jay, you're part of that list,
awesome,
baby.
right on.
So that's so cool. And he's given us a ride from Lone Pine back up to KMS. Couldn't have asked for a better person to help us out. When I first saw him in Lone Pine, I recognized him. He's a legend, as everyone knows. So thank you very much, Jay.
Just one of many.
And you know what? We've been finding that there's so many trail angels. We love every single one of them. The ones that say, oh, I can't help you. You guys help so many other hikers. It's incredible. And so I'm so pumped. But if you want to donate for the fundraiser, you go to spohnc.org and you can donate online. But you can check out Dean's List 4458 on YouTube. All right, thanks.
Yeah, who's next? Can you aim the camera?
Hi, I'm Microbox. I'm from Germany. Took some time off my job to hike the PCT. Actually, Forerunner was the first hiker that I met in San Diego. When I came down to El Cajon bus station, went off the tram there. He was sitting there, walked up to him, said, hey, this looks familiar. So we started on the same day. Got separated a little bit in between because he had a permit that started at mile 209 on May 1st, so he had to speed up a bit. We were the Trail Beatles actually, so I'm George, he's Ringo, and we had a guy from the UK with us who was Paul, or is Paul, but he already went back. And there was another guy from Idaho with us, so he was John. We considered ourselves the Trail Beatles. Did a couple of funny things, amongst that a really nice Abbey Road picture in Idlewild. It's on the PCT Facebook, so maybe you have come across it or seen that. We're having a great time. Just going back to KMS to start into the Sierras. We're amazed about that, and many thanks to you, Jay, for bringing us back up.
All right. Well, what these guys reminded me of was my first Trail Angel story, even before I was associated with the trail at all. And my first Trail Angel story was in Texas, and I was probably in my early 20s, like 21, maybe 22. And it might not even been that, because I think I was just out of high school and I graduated. I just bought a motorcycle, and back then motorcycles didn't have gas gauges, and I failed to reset my gas gauge, and I ran out of gas about 80 miles out in the middle of nowhere in West Texas. And I literally waited for hours, and not one car passed me for hours and hours. And I started walking, and I knew I had to walk about 80 miles. I remember at that time I was 21, 20, I might have been younger, but I had no idea what 80 miles was. And even now when I look back at it, it was like how scary that was. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I totally was unprepared to walk that much in the desert in West Texas. And so I started walking. I know I was probably 10, 15 miles into it when out of nowhere, and I still think of it as a divine event, where out of nowhere this little grandpa and his wife like show up out of nowhere, pull over. They're like, yeah, so got in their car because they obviously saw that I had been walking for a long time, and got in their car and started driving to the gas station. They were driving the other way. I didn't even see them. They were driving the other way, and that's why I think it was divine, because I would have seen you coming. But in any case, they saw me first, and then they saw my motorcycle and put two to two together and drove back to me, picked me up, drove me to the gas station. I had money for gas, but I didn't have money for a gas tank. And so I just remember they made up some excuse that they needed to have their own gas tank or something. So they bought a gas tank. I filled it up with whatever. We didn't have Venmo back then, so I remember offering to write them a check when I got my checkbook back, and they absolutely refused. They said that I would have to pay it forward one day. And so, yeah, totally dropped me off at my motorcycle. I had more than enough gas to make it the 80 miles. They drove off in the opposite direction because I kept on going, and I've never seen them again. But like literally out of nowhere was one of those perfect trail provides moments. That was that basically reminds me of all the good things that I experienced growing up in my life, and now that I'm in a position to pay it forward and pay it back, then here it is. So gotta love those trail provide moments, and I've got a few more that I'll share with you in future episodes. Cheers.
Awesome.
All right,
Nice.
guys.